What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the evolution of Sports Talk Television as we are safe and sound, not as wet out there at the stadium as we were. I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to call in and talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I get it. A win is a win, even against a bad team, a really bad team versus the Carolina Panthers as the Bucs go to 5-7. Beating the Carolina Panthers 21-18. So how do we start off this show as we always do on a Monday, Wednesday, and of course after every Bucs game, whether we're with a cell phone or with a live camera, you know them, you love them, you got to have them. Three things. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Want to talk to you Bucs fans. What do you think about this big-time win? It is a big-time win. I get it. People are going to go, and I already see the comments coming in here. Two giant goop balls, big win. You barely beat a team that literally has the worst record in the NFL. Again, it is the National Football League for a reason, not for long. And any given Sunday, any team can beat any team. So enough with that nonsense because, of course, the Panthers are definitely going to give the Bucs everything they can handle. But once again, is there frustrating circumstances to it? Absolutely. Did the Bucs on offense struggle? Absolutely, for the majority of the game. In fact, I was in the press box. I looked at J.P. Peterson of the J.P. Peterson Show, of course. You guys saw him on the cell phone show there right after the game on the field in those wet conditions. And I looked to him and I said, you know what? I don't know if this offense is going to go anywhere. Maybe it is Kyle Trask time. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, Baker hits a big play, 75 yards to Mike Evans, and it's a different game. You get a touchdown later on to Chris Godwin for an end around, his second rushing touchdown, and you feel like the Bucs are in good shape. The Bucs in 2023 don't do anything easily, do they, fans? As they let Carolina go down there, give credit to where credit is due. And I get it. Giants fan out there, two giant goofballs, because you know all about losing this year, right? I mean, you're going to get on the program and say the win is not a win, it's a win. You put yourself in good position. As the great TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network said, you put yourself in a good position, if you will, to still get first place in the NFC South against the Atlanta Falcons. Can you play like he did today against that team? And when? I don't think so. We'll see. So we'll discuss it as we always do here on the Sports Web. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Christopher Cole says a win is a win. Gritty, not pretty. I like it. Gritty, not pretty. I mean, is that a Todd Bowles team or what? Honestly. And we'll hear from Todd Bowles after the game because I got that sound. We'll hear from Mike Evans, who 10 straight 1,000 receiving seasons to start his career, Bucs fans. How about that? And I guess the question will be asked tonight and throughout this season, no matter if the Bucs make the playoffs or not. When are you going to pay Mike Evans, and how much are you going to pay Mike Evans? Because, look, Evans has had his fair share of drops this year. We've talked about it. We've talked about the contract situation going into it. There's so much uncertainty. There's one certain thing. Mike Evans is going to produce no matter what quarterback is at the helm. Whether it's Baker Mayfield, whether it's Tom Brady, whether it's Jameis Winston, whether it's Ryan Fitzpatrick, whether it's Mike Glennon or Josh McCown, he's going to get it done no matter what quarterback is there. So congratulations to Mike Evans. We'll hear from him. What do you think about that, Bucs fans? Antoine Winfield Jr., oh, by the way, definitely has to be the MVP of this team, right? Ends it off with an interception. Has played out of his mind all year long. I mean, that guy definitely deserves a contract extension, does he not? With the way he's played? All over the place today. All over the place. Tackles for loss, a sack, and once again, an interception. And, for the Christmas spirit, a partridge and a pear tree. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The Bucs actually scored in the first quarter. That's always nice. Set up by a beautiful throw by Baker Mayfield, 40 yards to who else? Mike Evans. Over defenders. They get up 7-3, start to feel good a little bit. Red zone defense comes through. And then it takes a little while. Like I said, you get the big play from Mike Evans for 75 yards. Overall, the game was tough to watch. I'm not going to lie to you. This offense all year long has been tough to watch. They got creative today. We'll go inside the numbers. And again, we'll talk to you here on the Sports Web. So a win is a win. Gritty, not pretty. Definitely the comment of the night overall. Please keep winning so you don't leapfrog us in the NFL draft. I know. I mean, that's what you got to look forward to. You got to look forward to the NFL draft for you guys, whether you draft a quarterback or not. But even that, people will go, well, the Buffalo Bills are not one of the top teams in the NFL. Why? Because they struggled versus the New York Giants. But, I mean, every team is going to give you the best effort. Like, yeah, there is some disappointment there that the Bucs then blow their doors off of the Carolina Panthers. I get that. There's some disappointment there. And there's still some things that they need to work on. All right. So you ask for calls and you get calls. And of course, I'm so freaking fired up about FSU today. So if you want to talk about that freaking mess, we can. Let's go out to the phone lines, leading it off. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Carolina Panthers 21-18. What do you have to say? Welcome.
What's going on, Peter? How you doing tonight? Big win tonight. I mean,
what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Eric from Lakeland, Florida.
What's going on, Eric? Eric Moreno, welcome to the Sports Web. Stand by, because I'm going to put you on hold here really quick. We'll come out to you in a moment. Stand by. Cole, I got Eric Moreno on the line. I'll put you on hold. We'll come back out to you. Stand by, okay?
Okay.
All right. See, there you go. See, we got phone calls already. I got phone lines open. So let me go back out to Eric here. Stand by, as my phone is not working, like always. You got to love that. Okay. So we're just going to say Cole first, and then we'll come out to you, Eric. Stand by. Go ahead, Cole. Give me your thoughts.
My thoughts are it's nice to see this Virgin offensive coordinator do something different with the run game, and the wide receivers, they're fast, so get them the ball. So, that's pretty cool. And the problem I have is 3 targets, no receptions for the second best wide receiver on this team,
right?
And maybe the second best wide receiver or third or fourth in the state. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he needs to be getting the ball. I mean, I know we love Mike Evans and everybody loves Mike Evans. Nobody loves Mike Evans more than me, but
sure,
we need to be getting Godwin the ball. And if you can't get Godwin the ball, come on. And for all this talk about the Carolina Panthers quarterback being short, Baker's only 2 inches taller.
Right. Right. And we've talked about it this year. Has he had problems with seeing over the offensive line? You've had batted balls. I don't necessarily think that's all his fault. Of course, the penetration from the defensive line. And
what's with these overthrows on wide open guys?
I have no idea whether it was the weather conditions or what, but that was a duck, and he even talked about that.
Shoot the lights up. That was a punt.
Yeah,
he was throwing.
It was terrible, and
the interception.
And again, I go back to it. This offense is struggling, and at that point, the Panthers take the lead, and you're like, oh boy, here we go again. And this team has to come back, but they've done it all year long. I mean, I feel like this team has to have their backs against the wall in order for them to start scoring points. And I don't know why it's like that.
And they don't score a lot of points. They score enough points.
They score enough points.
Their backs against the wall.
Correct. Yes.
And that's another thing you pointed out that I don't know whether it was you or JP on the phone show that you were doing on the field there, but
yes,
that's one of the top 3 plays of his career. like when they show the montage of Hall of Fame plays in his career, if and when he gets,
he is a Hall of Famer. Let's just put that out there. And I don't care what anybody says, and I get it. I know Drew Felios has gotten on this show and said, he's not always catching pass, but I think what puts him in the Hall of Fame is not only the consistency, but also the consistency to do it with quarterbacks that aren't upper echelon by any means. It's not like Evans has had, Tom Brady for the entirety of his career. Majority of his career. Can you imagine if Mike Evans had a quarterback like Tom Brady for the majority of his career? You'd be talking about him in the same breath as Davante Adams. You really would.
Yes, you would. And I think he'd be better than Davante Adams.
Correct. Agree. Completely agree.
And on top of it, the problem with that is that they're going to go to 18 games pretty soon, and everybody and their mother is going to be able to do the 1,000 yards in a season, and it's not going to seem like such a big deal. And it does now. Don't get me wrong, it does now, but I don't think he's going to be the only person to do that. With the 18-game season, just like Jim Brown was awesome with 1,000-yard seasons when it was 12 games a season, but when it got to 16, everybody's got 1,000-yard seasons. It only takes less than 60 yards to get a 1,000-yard season for rushing the ball. So and I think that's going to water down the stats. And there's a lot of wide receivers waiting to get in. That's what's going to hurt him. I think he needs another couple of years, and if he can do it with all one team, I'll be so proud. I'll be going up there myself. Like I'd get a ticket and go up there and do the whole road trip for everybody, man. If he goes all in one team, they need to sign him. Seriously.
Well, they definitely need to sign him, and you kind of wonder how much money it's going to take to get him signed. And again, that's going to be the big time question mark. But right now, and you look at this game today, his numbers overall, 7 catches for 162, 1 touchdown, kind of goes back to last year, right? We talk about it. Mike Evans, your playmakers need to step up in key situations. And when you get him the ball, which you got him the ball, and good on Todd Bowles to finally be aggressive and not only use the timeout before halftime, good for him, but also challenge the play, which needed to be challenged. I would say the
MVP of this game, you talked about the safety. The MVP of this game is the replay staff in the stadium, because they went and replayed that thing so many times that you can't possibly not challenge that thing.
Yeah.
Even if you miss it the first 2 times, because they did it so many times.
Yes.
It's just so great. So, and I cannot believe in this horrible division that we're going to be playing for the division lead. If we win this game coming up, we're going to have the division lead.
Yep.
Because we're going to have tiebreakers over everybody. And I can't believe if we win all these division games, even not counting, the Green Bay and Jacksonville, we might win this division.
Yep. You have an opportunity.
Tiebreakers and all that stuff. That's crazy.
It's exactly right. But that's where the division is. Any other division, you're definitely not going to have an opportunity. Anything else here, Cole? And I'm going to get out to Eric.
No, go out to Eric. He's been waiting quite a bit long, and your phone sucks, but that's okay. I'm glad to be on here. So
use that second call. My phone doesn't suck. You suck. Thanks a lot for calling in, and definitely use that second call. Cole, appreciate you. All right, boss.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. See you later. All right, so I can't switch over. There we go. Let's go out to Eric. Eric, welcome to the Sports Web. What do you have to say about your 5-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Gritty win, kind of, the rain.
Gritty, not pretty. Christopher Cole nailed it for the night. Gritty, not pretty. I love it. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I got stuck in the stadium, but hey, kind of, found our group when we went up 21-10, and then Carlson got beat, and then Panthers made it close, and then Antoine Winfield made a big play. Mike Evans, huge day. Mike Evans, player of the game.
Yeah.
Have a chance to take first place in Atlanta next week, Peter. What a gritty win. Not pretty, but win to win. Hopefully get some players healthy next week. They need Levante back badly.
Yeah, definitely need Levante back.
Yeah, I guess both said we'll see. So.
Well, it's a tough injury because what is it, a groin injury? So that can be a lingering thing. And that can also be a thing that if you hurt it again or you aggravate it again, it could be even long-term. So you need your best players at this point, and you hope. And I thought both of the linebackers, did pretty well, gave up some rushing yards, but overall I thought they were pretty active. J.J. Russell in this game, 7 tackles, including 1 sack. And then he also had KJ Brett, who finally gets an opportunity to start. He goes out with the back injury, which is disappointing because he waited so long to get the start. So they had Ryan Neal playing linebacker at 220, getting juked once again from Bryce Young there on the 2-point conversion, which somebody will have to explain that to me. But they had Ryan Neal playing. So again, this team coming in banged up. The challenges were there. No Devin White, no Levante David. You lose another linebacker. You don't have Dean. I get it. They let the Panthers get back in there. Yeah, Savasi Dennis was not in this game, but they're able to pull it out and win. And again, they put themselves in the chance there to win this division at least next week against the Atlanta Falcons.
You think it's more likely Dean or David suits up next week? I mean, I know it looks like Dean was a little limping. He was in, regular clothes, but I couldn't really tell.
I don't know. That's a great question. I
think
think
they put him on IR, so on our IR you have to put him 4 games, so you would think there would be a chance.
Yeah, I think Dean has more of a likelihood at this point, in my opinion, depending on the ankle injury. How bad that ankle is. Could be sprained. Yeah, ankle foot, and you hope you can get Devin White back, even though he hasn't necessarily played his best football this year. It's you got to get back your top players, and you hope that they can perform. But it's been a banged up squad so far, and again, they're able to pull out the win over the Carolina Panthers, 21-18, to go to 5-7. So we'll see how it works out versus Atlanta. They escaped today, beating the New York Jets 13-8 in a barn burner, and probably a game that set offense back by 100. I mean, what is going on offensively in the National Football League right now? It's just crazy. Some really bad football. And I tell you, the majority of this game, watching it from the press box, it was tough. It was tough. And I was thinking, if the Bucs continue to have these type of struggles, which once again, Baker Mayfield had just a wounded duck of a throw, and whether it was the weather conditions, whether it was slipping out of his hand, I don't know what it was. It's a bad throw. The guy's wide open. You got to complete that pass. You're not able to complete it. He talks about that in his presser. We'll get back out to that in a moment. What other things did you see in this game after the Bucs beat the Panthers 21-18?
Just love what you said. Miss throws. You got to make throws. The weather didn't help.
Nope. Definitely an ugly game. Trust me.
Bryce Young missed some throws.
Yep.
I was like, where is it? Couldn't even hit Painter. So win. Win next week and we're in the driver's seat.
Yep. Win next week against the Atlanta Falcons and you're good to go. Thanks a lot for the call, Eric. Use that second call if you want to, my friend. All right.
Have a good night, Peter.
All right, good stuff there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to 5-7. They defeat the Carolina Panthers 21-18. Not necessarily in the prettiest fashion, but they get it done. Going out to the statistics for the game, Baker Mayfield, 14 for 29, 202. The majority of that, the 75-yard play, which really changes the complexion, and that's why it's so important to get it to your playmakers so they can make those plays. And I tell you right now, if you think Mike Evans has lost a step, I hate to tell you, he hasn't. On that yak and just running to the end zone. And I don't know what the refs are looking at. I don't even know why you have to challenge that play in the first place. It's clearly a touchdown. He clearly gets the ball over the pylon there. He doesn't go out of bounds. I don't know what the refs are looking at. There was another call in the game where the defender, Jackson, interferes with Mike Evans. Clearly is holding him. I mean, we're talking about first date holding, like going to the waist here. Come on. You got to be consistent with this. I saw the Bucs get called for 2 of those. Barely touched the guy. So I don't know what the refs were looking at tonight. Going back to Baker Mayfield, 14 for 29, 202, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. We talk about that. Rachaad White, 20 for 84, 1 touchdown. Gutty effort. Big time run to close out the game. Doesn't go out of bounds, slides down. Very good. had some runs tonight. They tried to do some different things. Dave Canales, give him credit. They did some different things tonight, just not running up the middle. But you did hear some boo birds, did you not? Bucs fans out there watching the broadcast, or if you were at the game, you heard some boo birds when they're trying to run the ball and you're getting, 2-3 yards in a cloud of dust. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We talk about Chris Godwin, his second rushing touchdown in his career, 1 for 19. That definitely changed the game. Trey Palmer had to end around there, 1 for 13. Devin Tompkins, 2 for 7. Again, the big story, Mike Evans, 7 for 162. In fact, I'll read the rest of these comments, and we'll get out to Mike Evans after the game talking about the feat. And at this point, Bucs fans, is it pretty much academic? I mean, how much does Mike Evans take to get signed, and are you ready to sign him? That's the question for the night. Has he proven enough for you throughout his career, through this year? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Okay, so let's go here. Let's see. You aren't getting into the playoffs, so the question is, do you think Baker is the future? If so, keep playing him. If not, time for Trask. I don't know if he's the future at this point, but I understand. And it's a good question. Thank you very much, Andrew. 2 Giant Goofballs. Do a great job with the New York Giants. I know you guys are having a rough year. Sorry about that. But you're exactly right. If you do lose to the Atlanta Falcons, does it become, Trask time? Does it become looking at him and seeing what you got in a second-round pick if you're out of the playoffs? So right now, you're in it. And you're in it to win it. And that's the reason why you do all the re-signings in the offseason. And it's also the particular reason why you start Baker Mayfield coming in. Because he has the experience as a quarterback to win games, and he's taken a team like the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs before. Playoffs! I said playoffs. Yes. So that's why you start him. Now, if you're out of it, then yeah, you're going to take a look. Because you want to know if your offense continues to struggle, which they did for the majority of the night. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. They struggled. They did. So when it's time, I think the time is when you're out of the NFC South race. Then that's when you take a look at them. Do I think Baker's your future? I don't know. I think there are so many great things that he does, right? I mean, there's mobility where he's scrambling, he's trying to make a first down on third down. He can make some throws. But then again, what is it? Why can't he get it to wide open receivers sometimes? Why does he hold the ball so long? That's not all on the offensive line. I think the offensive line, when it comes to pass protection, has done a pretty damn good job. I think a lot of that is on Baker, and Baker would tell you. But is this the kind of quarterback that you're going to have? I don't know if he's your future. I like Baker. I just don't know if that's your future. And if you have an opportunity to draft somebody in that top 10, and I love this kid, Michael Penix from Washington. Tampa kid, I get it. He's 24 years old. He's had some knee injuries. That would be a guy that possibly, could he get out of that top 10? We'll see. But he's been impressive. Will the Bucs be in the top 10 at this point? They pick up their 5th win. They beat Atlanta. That's 6. Green Bay, certainly a winnable game, but that's going to be a tough game at Lambeau. You've got Jacksonville on Christmas Eve. We'll be here live. Hopefully it's not raining. Can it not rain? Can it not be hot? Can Florida decide what the hell it wants to be at this point? I mean, it's almost like watching the Bucs offense. Can they decide what they want to be? Did they want to be a passing offense or a running offense? Do they want to be a balanced attack? I mean, one day for Florida, it's like 40, 50 degrees, and the next it's like 80 degrees, and you got downpours today. Which, by the way, screwed with the show. Completely. Screwed with it. So I wasn't going to go out there. I went out there. I tried. Didn't necessarily work out to my favor. Let's just say that. I'm not going to take the chance to mess up my equipment in the rain. So hopefully we'll be joining you live from Raymond James Stadium with your post-game edition with phone calls. Takes me a little bit to hook up and everything like that, but we'll be there on Christmas Eve. And then also on New Year's Eve. Who could forget that? The stinking Saints. And then you have the Carolina Panthers, who you finish out with. So, yeah, you may be right. They may not make the playoffs because of this effort. They're not the best team. I get that. But who knows? Maybe they can put it together. Maybe some teams lose. I don't know. You have one more win than us. Don't get cocky. Shut up. Let's go out to Ralph here. At least Tampa won. Steelers blew it. I mean, that was one of the surprises of the day. What was that score? 24-3 against the Arizona Cardinals? What? Wow. I tell you right now, I'm one of those people that I kind of hope for Mike Tomlin to get fired because he is so consistent and gets the most out of it. I think the Bucs would be interested if this doesn't go well for Todd Bowles. They should be interested. I get it, defensive-minded coach, but there's no secret out there that the Glazers did not want. They regret letting Mike Tomlin get out of that building. So if you got a chance to get Mike Tomlin, and that's here, there, we'll see how that works out. Steelers losing to the Cardinals is kind of a surprise today. Very surprising. They don't have good quarterback play there. Kenny Pickett's been a disaster. Baker's one-read quarterback. If it's not open, he holds the ball too long. Tend to agree with you. Watched it. Completely watched it. Common denominator in offense is Baker. Christopher Cole, how bad is our depth when we have a safety playing inside linebacker? Well, you lose White, you lose David, you lose Savasier Dennis, you also lose KJ Britt. I mean, I don't know where you go with that. I mean, you lost, 4 linebackers there already? There's only so many linebacking spots you can have. So I don't necessarily think it's a depth issue. I mean, you're already down to your second guys. And then one of your second guys gets hurt. So, good for Ryan Neal. They did give up some yards today to the Carolina Panthers. You look at the numbers here. Bryce Young, 15 for 31, 178, 1 interception. We talked about that. Antoine Winfield Jr. closing it out. Chuba Hubbard, 25 for 104, 2 touchdowns, had a good day. Miles Sanders, 8 for 23, so over 100 yards there. Some big plays, but, not plays that would kill you. I think you got to definitely give, credit to where credit is due, that the defense did a pretty bang-up job today, considering, they were missing some primetime players, right? As we talked about, White, David, and Dean doesn't necessarily help you. And then you lose another linebacker in KJ Britt. So good question anyway it goes, but the depth was definitely hurt because you lose the second guy that's starting the game for your other linebackers. Baker's got to get the ball to Godwin more. I don't know. We've seen it. We've all seen it there with fans. As fans, breaking down the all-22 that Godwin is open for some reason. He's not getting the ball, or Godwin is not getting the separation. And he's really truly affected by that neck injury. I didn't see that today. I saw Godwin open a couple times. I agree with you. You definitely got to get Chris Godwin involved in the offense. You got to figure it out. There's lots of mouths to feed, but that's what makes the Bucs offense so explosive when you get those 2 guys involved in it. It hasn't been explosive this year because of that. Is it the offensive line? Is it not, giving you enough time? Some cases. Is it also not having a consistent running game? I think the running game has gotten better here in the last couple of weeks. I think you could say that. I think you definitely could say that. Is it the most entertaining football? No, it's not. And again, you would like to see this team blow the doors off of the Carolina Panthers, but it didn't happen tonight. They made it definitely interesting. Mike DeRoche, my opinion, I think Mayfield tries to do too much at times. Possibly. Definitely possibly. I mean, those numbers right there with him, 14 for 29, 202. How many throws did he miss? How many wide open receivers did he miss? The wounded duck there. I mean, it's not good. Not good. You got to play better. I mean, all the offense is not just on Baker Mayfield, right? It's a team game. But if you're the quarterback, you've got to play better than that. You got to play better. So I will say this, and JP Peterson of the JP Peterson Show, which, tune in tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12 noon as he will talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I won't be producing it. Nick Geddes will be producing it. And I definitely know he's going to go in on Florida State, a rant like no other, which he was raring to go tonight on the cell phone post-game show, which a lot of people were thinking the same thing as I was thinking. FSU got screwed. Did they not? Alabama's in, Texas is in over them. I get it. It's a beauty contest. I also get that ESPN loves the SEC, baby. Got to have the SEC biased, right? No.
This guy sucks.
So, but yeah, tune in tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12 noon for the JP Peterson show. But he mentioned it. You know, Todd Bowles and that defense, they were pretty aggressive. They got after it. They blitzed. They did what they do. They did give up some plays. There were some plays given up in this game that you look at and you're like, what kind of defense are they playing? You know, Mike Smith type of stuff. Corners are backed up, 10, 15 yards. I don't agree with it, but I would rather see Todd Bowles blitz, and he did a lot of that tonight. And you should against, a rookie quarterback in Bryce Young, which, by the way, compared to CJ Stroud, not good. Not good. Not good at all. He's got lots of work to do. You got to put some weapons around him. Adam Thielen, did he even play in this game? I mean, who's the leading wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers? Oh, Jonathan Mingo, 6 catches for 69 yards. DJ Shark Jr., 3 for 56. Adam Thielen, 3 catches for 25. And that was it. That was pretty much it in the game. So he's got lots of work to do. He's struggled all year long. Carolina's just a bad team. Should the Bucs have won by more? Absolutely. All right, let's go out to Jim here. Damn it, Jim. Welcome to the Evolution, your late night edition of the Sports Web after your Bucs beat the Carolina Panthers 21-18. Somebody's trying to honk at you. Tell them that you're on the Evolution. What do you have to say, my friend?
Hey, we got a win, didn't we?
We did get a win. You're absolutely correct. You did get a win. What are your thoughts on that win?
It was a lot of rain, so the Panthers tried to beat us. But I don't know if they can play in the rain or they can't play at all, what they doing. But we got our interception.
Well, it doesn't matter if it rains or not. That offense has been dreadful this year, but it was a close game. They made it interesting in the fourth quarter. You would have liked to see the Bucs close it down and close them out with another touchdown, of course, but it didn't happen. So Panthers made it interesting, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know about our offense. What's going on with Baker Mayfield?
I mean, from what I see, he's missing reads. So he's done it all year long. Bad throws, missing wide open receivers. And we'll get out to Baker in just a moment here with him talking about the wounded duck that he threw. I don't know if it was the weather conditions. I don't know if it's just a terrible throw, but he's had those throws all year long. And I posed the question this week on social media because coming into this year, I was all about Baker, and I thought Baker would give you the best chance to win, and I still think he somewhat does. But if this offense continues to struggle in scoring points and you're missing guys, and is it on the offense? Is it on Baker not getting Chris Godwin involved? I don't know, but you got to get those guys more involved. We see it with Evans. We see it with Godwin. This offense is just so up and down. Like, it really doesn't have an identity. The identity of the offense is so inconsistent. The running game seems like it's coming along just a little bit. I don't know. He holds the ball a little bit too long. He's trying to make plays with his feet. I get that. But, some cases when he does that, you're missing on your reads. You're missing on wide open wide receivers, and you have to hit those plays when they're there. And he just had some really bad throws tonight, honestly, whether it was the rain or not, just really bad throws. Just not good.
Yeah, look at Mike Evans. He wouldn't be there. Though every time he got the ball, he was going for 6.
Right. I mean, Mike Evans, he gets the ball there. A lot of people criticized him on that wounded duck that he should have fought for it more. But it's such a poorly thrown ball. I don't think that's necessarily on Mike Evans.
Yeah, that was a bad throw.
Yeah, Vanilla Light, somebody says on the Bucs offense. Good comment there, Mike. Absolutely agree with you. What else did you see from this game?
I liked how the defense played in the rain, and we got the little interception at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely some positives. There's going to be some positives going forward. I'm the most optimistic person that you'll have on a sports talk show, and I think the future is bright. You have Kalijah Cansey, who, rookie of the month there with, defensive lineman. He's been tremendous. You got Yaya Diaby getting a sack. I think the future is bright for that kid. once those lights turn on, it's going to be it could be hell to
the
pay
guy
for
with the
those
real long
quarterbacks.
hair? Who's the guy with the flying around with the real long hair on our defense?
That was Ryan Neal playing linebacker. How about that,
Yeah,
huh? 220 at
He was flying
linebacker.
around. Yeah, he remind me. Yeah, he was flying around today.
Yeah. He was.
And,
He definitely was flying around today, and that was kind of surprising there. But again, early on in the game, they lose KJ Britt. So what are you going to do? Your linebacking depth is not there. So credit to where credit is due. Did they give us some big plays in this game? No, they gave up some, but not the back-breaking plays that we've seen. And again, it's the Carolina Panthers. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke. They're a 1-10 team for a reason, or a 1-11 team for a reason. They're not good. Are the Bucs good? They're a 5-win team, okay? And they're playing in a bad division. What's to be expected? I don't know at this point. Can they go and beat the Atlanta Falcons? If they have this type of effort, I doubt it. They have to come out. They have to establish some identity. They have to have some urgency. You don't see it enough with this team. I don't see it enough. I don't know if they can beat the Atlanta Falcons, but the Atlanta Falcons are not, shocking the world here. They're not really good either. They scored 13 points today versus the Jets. Jets pretty talented defense, though.
Why isn't Baker using his tight ends?
It's not there, man. They're not getting open. It's just not there. I don't know. I have to go back into the all-22 and see it. We've seen Cade Otton be used a couple of weeks. I didn't see a lot of him today at all. I don't know.
The rookie tight end, he was throwing to him a little bit.
Payne Durham, yeah. Payne Durham should have had a touchdown last week. You're exactly right. I don't know. It's a great question. It really is. And we'll see what this Bucs offense can do to improve on that. But again, you go out to the numbers here. You got nothing from Cade Otton receiving. You got nothing from Payne Durham. You got Trey Palmer with 2 catches for 12 yards. I mean, nothing to write home about. And again, the majority of those yards for the 202, 75 of that is the big play to Mike Evans. I mean, that's there you go.
That was it.
That was it. What do you think about Mike Evans, by the way? Mike Evans does it for the 10th consecutive time with receiving yards, 1,000 yards. You ready to sign him? Are you ready to get into Jason Light's ear and say, Jason Light, sign this guy no matter how much money? Where are you at on this, Jim?
I've been ready to pay Mike Evans, man. He touched the ball. He wants to score a touchdown. That's willpower. I mean, he caught that ball today, and he outran. I mean, he went up there slam.
Yeah.
He was gone.
Yes, he
and
was.
I'm going to try to look at that touchdown. That man scored that touchdown.
Oh, yeah, he scored that touchdown. And good for Todd Bowles being aggressive in that situation to review it, because last week, I think you saw a couple questionable plays there. It looked like Mike Evans scored a touchdown, didn't review it. Looked like Mike Evans had a catch, didn't review it. It looked like Payne Durham had a touchdown, didn't review it. So this time, you get it right. And also, let the truth set you free. Todd Bowles calls a timeout before halftime. So there you go.
Yeah, Mike Evans, that wasn't his fault when he threw that ball up in the air. He didn't throw it to Mike Evans. He threw it to the defender.
I don't know where he was throwing it to. It was a terrible throw. I don't ever want to see a throw like that ever again. It's terrible. Terrible throw. Terrible. All right, what else?
Man, I think it was a good game. We pulled out a squeak. So hopefully, who we play next?
The Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. This most likely is for the division. Yes, sir.
This is going to be the real test here.
It is going to be the real test, my friend. Absolutely.
Division rivals.
Division rival. You're absolutely right. Jim, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you as always.
Oh, yeah.
Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We'll read the rest of these comments, get out to the pressers here. Definitely want to hear some of the things that, of course, Mike Evans had to say, Baker Mayfield had to say, and, of course, Todd Bowles had to say. Let's see here. Baker's got to get the ball to Godwin more. We talked about that. Mike, in my opinion, I think Mayfield tries to do too much at times. Okay, Mike, I'm glad our defense made better strides. Absolutely. J.J. Russell had more tackles than White had in 2 games. Yeah, I mean, the effort was there. Whether White is hurt or not, you're exactly right. So who knows? If White's not ready to go, do you feel good with J.J. Russell at a linebacking spot? He definitely showed up today. He definitely was active, had a sack. That was good to see. Number 51. Put aside your love for Evans. Is he a first ballot Hall of Fame Canton? Yes. Love or not, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer in Canton. I've said that. I'll continue to say that over and over again. And could go down as one of the greatest offensive Buccaneers of all time. Absolutely. Love or not, Baker Mayfield had initial struggles. He did. Rod, our offense was very slow and predictable today. We didn't take advantage against our receivers. We need to add White to more passes out of the backfield on checkdowns. It looked like the O-line wouldn't give more Baker than 3 seconds to throw deep balls. He did have pressure in his face. Can we play Carolina every week? I think that's an astute question, and I would say no, you can't play Carolina every week. Where's my...
How about no?
I wish you could. I wish you definitely could play Carolina every week, don't you? Dave says, embarrassing win. Sorry, but it shouldn't have been that close. Agree. Mike, Bucs offense is vanilla light. Dave says, I know you and JP talked about it earlier, but it's time to let Trask play. Baker only had 44 yards passing without Evans putting the offense on his back. I tend to agree with you to a certain point. Before the big play, I'm ready to see it. And I know where the Bucs are thinking here. I know it. I understand it. I understand why they picked up Baker Mayfield in the first place. Because he's a proven quarterback. Because he has the starts under his belt. Because you don't necessarily want to start a rookie quarterback. Say whatever you want to, but only had 9 snaps coming in. That would be Kyle Trask. But again, I threw the question out there in social media. If the offense continues to struggle, do you make the change? Well, I don't think you're going to make the change now, because you're in it with Atlanta. If you lose to Atlanta and you don't have any chance to win the NFC South, then I definitely think you could see Baker Mayfield. Maybe, too little, too late. Maybe earlier. Our strength is our receivers. We need more passes for more balanced attack. But Bowles likes to run 70 to 30% pass. Good point. Mike says it's a double-edged sword considering the college football voting. Alabama knocks off Georgia, but lost to Texas. FSU goes unbeaten, but beats a middle-of-the-pack Louisville team. They're 14th ranked. They're top 25. They're scoring 33 points a game. FSU with a third-string quarterback who, he was god-awful. It was not good. Not a good offensive game. In fact, the last 2 games have not been good to watch offense. But you got your backs against the wall. You lose your star quarterback and you lose your backup in Tate Rodemaker. Right? And your defense stands up and holds that team to 6 points and has 7 sacks. Get after the quarterback. I don't know what they got to prove. All right, let's go back out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Welcome to the Sports Web.
What's up, Peter Boy? This is Eric.
What's going on, Eric? Your thoughts on this game?
Man, sloppy.
Was a sloppy game. Sloppy weather, sloppy game. Very slow.
Mike Evans got the 1,000 yards today.
Correct.
I caught it. I knew it was going to happen today. I had a feeling it was going to happen today.
Did you bet on it by chance?
No.
You didn't bet on it, huh?
I wish I would have did, though, but I had a feeling.
You had a feeling. All right. Well, that's good. That's good.
But look at this. We can't play like this against the Falcons next week. The Falcons, Panthers is not the Falcons. Falcons not the Panthers.
Correct. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. And again, you go back to that first game, you had an opportunity to win that. Your offense gets you a field goal. Your defense is not able to get off the field. Of course, the offense could have scored more points if Baker doesn't make an ill-advised throw in the red zone.
Could we say if it would have left it at the 1 o'clock slot today, do you think there would have been any factor of any difference of the outcome in the game? Any difference?
I don't know. Of course, it's not raining at 1 o'clock today. So, yeah, that would probably be different. But I just think right now this team is struggling. And give the Panthers credit. They're playing for an interim coach.
Does that mean Cowboys' job is safe after that victory today?
For now. I don't think it's safe for the year. I don't think it's safe. I don't know. I think he has to not only win the NFC South, but he also has to win a game in the playoffs. And I'm not sure if you see that happening or not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's safe or not.
If it was me, I wanted the Bucs to lose today, man. I really wanted the Bucs to lose.
Why'd you want the Bucs to lose today?
To get a better draft pick and we get Todd Bowles fired.
Okay, so who do you want as a quarterback in the top 10 right now, Eric, that you're looking at?
I like the guy. I like the guy from LSU.
All right, so you like Jaden Daniels. Okay,
Hey,
all right.
He's like Lamar Jackson. If you look at his game, he can throw, he can run, he can do. And plus, you get the fifth-year option.
Do definitely everything besides beat FSU. You're exactly right. Absolutely. Who would you want as a coach?
I don't mind Harbaugh or the guy from the. I want the guy from the Lions.
Okay. All right. Good stuff, Eric. Anything else here on the sports web?
Man, congratulations to the Buccaneers. Pathetic win, a sloppy win.
It's a win. It's a win. You get a chance to celebrate here on a victory Sunday night and, of course, a victory Monday. Eric, thanks a lot for the call. Let me give you the Ric Flair. Woo! Appreciate you as always. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. All right. Let's see here. So Dave says Winfield, Evans, and Wirfs need to get paid. Agree with that. Good comment, as always.
Ooh, yeah.
Mike says Ryan Neal is better suited at linebacker. Certainly seems like it, right? Not necessarily the best safety all year long with getting out of position, taking bad angles. Didn't do too bad as a linebacker today. Not bad at all. Dave says this team has talent, but there's no drive, no fire. It's taken the identity of Bowles, emotionless on the sideline. Completely agree with that. Dave says if you let Evans go, there is no offense. I mean, I'm just trying to picture that. And people they're going and go, Jason Light, not necessarily the best GM. Who was his first pick? Mike Evans. I mean, you knocked that out of the park. Pretty good pick. You want to go to guys right now that are working out for him. Yaya Diaby looks pretty good. Kalijah Kancey looks like a monster. When he's healthy, he looks like a friggin' monster. I mean, those are two pretty good building blocks for that front seven, are they not? Everything else, you can throw there and see what happens. But, Mike Evans, absolutely. Could you imagine Mike Evans not in this offense? This year, could you imagine? You played one game without him. Could you imagine him next year not in this offense? I could not. Good point. We lose to Atlanta, our season's over. Dave, our season's over already. Playoffs or not? All right, Dave. Bucs are not paying Evans $20 million a year. Not sure if he stays. We'll see how much he wants. We'll see how it goes. I'm not ready to say they're not going to pay him $20 million because you're looking at the cap situation and you're sitting here saying it's going to be like it was this year. It's not. It's going to be better. All that dead cap money's going off. Jason Light in this organization, especially the ownership of the Glazers, they know how important Evans is. Will they let him test the market? Absolutely. Is there a possibility that somebody could overpay? I don't know how you overpay for a Mike Evans, but he is going to be 31 years old. But don't you think, just putting it out there, the Kansas City Chiefs, with all the drop passes they've had, which last check they were struggling against the Packers. Somebody has to give me the score right now as I'll check here in a minute. But they have struggled all year with wide receivers trying to catch passes consistently. Don't you think they would probably overpay or pay for a Mike Evans? Absolutely. So, that's the risk that you run into when you allow Evans to test the market. But I certainly think that's what's going to happen. Could happen. 12-13, Ring of Honor awaits you guys. Absolutely. White has played his way out of Tampa Bay. Not good. Being Devin, 10,000 yards. Amazing. Christopher Cole, Evans is a lean, mean yak machine. Mike is the greatest offensive buck ever, period. Love it. Mike Evans owns the Panthers. He does. He owned them last year. Bulls would have lost to a special teams coach. He should have been fired after the game. I think there's a lot of Bucs fans that said that. And that's what I was getting. It didn't matter about the quarterback position, whether it was Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. Didn't matter. Todd Bowles is the culprit at this point. Coaching is the culprit at this point. We'll see if that changes. Super Bowl bound now. Oh, stop, Harry, with that nonsense.
This guy sucks.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Harry, for tuning in, by the way. Appreciate that. The win feels like a 10-year-old beating up a 5-year-old, and 5-year-old would have won if the mom didn't break it up. Well, you know what? There you go. You used an advantage there, which the Bucs haven't had a lot of. So, Dave, they'll take it. 19-27. Pack. Okay. So, 27-19 Pack. So, there you go. Green Bay beating the Kansas City Chiefs, who continue to somewhat have problems with offense, right? Which is crazy. But the thing is, the Chiefs and that defense, pretty good. Maybe not tonight, but overall, yeah, I think they're a better defense than they've been in years past. The problem is, is there somebody better? Is the Jacksonville Jaguars, are the Miami Dolphins good enough right now? Playing great football, right? Are they physical enough? Are they balanced enough? They're certainly fast enough. But it always runs through Kansas City. So we'll see how that works out. Open phone lines, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. As we are on post-game show here with phone calls. I felt bad we didn't give you an opportunity to call in before, as we had a little tech issue there with the rain. Gotta love that. Gotta love the rain, huh? All right. Tell you what, let's go out here to Mike Evans himself, talking about his accomplishment tonight. 10 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons, only one away from tying Jerry Rice for the all-time record. Amazing stuff here by Mike Evans on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Enjoy.
Mike, congrats on the win. If you can, just speak to yet another 1,000-yard season for you. The milestone just keeps growing and growing.
I appreciate it. Happy we got the win. Most importantly, I'm happy with the record. Obviously, I had a lot of great quarterbacks and offensive coordinators who believed in me, so I really appreciate them. And hopefully, I can keep that streak going, however long my career goes.
When you made that 11-yard catch, did you know that was it?
Yeah, we all knew. Everybody was talking about it on the sideline, and nowadays you see the stats everywhere. So yeah, we knew.
Mike, do you think you're as good now as you've ever been?
You say what?
You're as good now as you've ever been.
Yeah. It was a couple years, like 2018, 2019. I was really great, but this year I get smarter each year, and the game slows down for me each year. If I'm healthy, I'm a real problem to deal with, and I've just been blessed with health and learning how to take care of my body as I get older.
Mike, can you describe the 75-yard touchdown and just taking off at the 4 or 5 yard line to reach the pylon there?
I mean, Baker threw an unbelievable ball. It's a play we worked on in practice a lot. I got my steps right. I wasn't short on my route, and it worked. Hit me in stride, and I was able to beat the defense to the end zone.
Did you know that you had gotten in? Or?
Yeah, I felt unless I stepped out, but I knew I crossed the ball over the plane. I had a similar play last year against Atlanta early in the year where I did the exact same thing, but they didn't give me the touchdown. So I'm happy they gave it to me this time.
You
went up and said something to the ref after that. What was that?
Huh?
You said something to the ref after that play.
I said, that's a touchdown, baby.
We talked to you in training camp and OTAs, and you're always talking about, I want more yak. That 75-yard touchdown you have is the most yak you've ever had on a single play in your career. Just what does that mean to you? Just the fact that you've been able to evolve your game so much and be so many different things, play so many different roles, so many different systems, so many different QBs.
Like you said, it's something I work on. Year in, year out, I'm trying to work on my weaknesses because no player is perfect. So you can always work on something, and that's what I try to do year in, year out.
That touchdown, obviously the offense kind of stalled there for a while. What did that do just to get a spark, kind of light the crowd up too?
Oh, it was huge. You felt it on the sideline. The crowd erupted. I mean, it was huge for us. We had some opportunities in the first half with the weather. I mean, obviously they had to play in the weather as well, but I was happy that it stopped and we were able to get, the ball down the field. So,
Mike, you had 150 yards to go entering this game. It was 81 before that 75-yard touchdon. At what point in the game did you maybe start getting in the back of your head like, hey, I could probably do this?
No, I knew how they were playing us, that I was going to have some opportunities, but the rain was kind of, put that to a halt in the second quarter. But thank God that it stopped. Pouring down, like it was bad. Usually a little rain ain't too bad, but it was going crazy.
If you now have more receptions, more touchdowns, more yards against Carolina than any other team, what is it about this team that you just thrive against?
I don't know. Every game is different. Every time I played them, it's been different. But they give me a lot of free access and a one-on-one matchup. So that's what I do. Beat man to man.
You talked about that play and how it just gave a jolt to your team. Just what's it like as a player to be in a game like that where you have the ability to just get this entire stadium, all thousands of people, like to give them that jolt of electricity to bring joy to people?
I mean, it's what you want as a kid. That's what we dream about. I've always dreamed about this. I've always been a huge fan of sports, and I always said one day I want to be one of those guys. There's plenty of them, but I'm happy that I'm one of them.
Now you get to you're joining them in the history books, right? Like now you're behind them with Jerry Rice.
Absolutely. And it seems surreal at times, but, it's just I'm in the moment. So maybe, when I'm long gone from the game, I'll look back and really think about what I've done.
Have you thought about passing Jerry?
Last week that could have been challenged that weren't. Were you going to make sure that Todd challenged this one?
He didn't challenge this one, though, right? He did challenge it? Okay. Well, I'm happy he challenged it because I needed that one. I ran far for that one. I was tired. I came to the sideline, had to throw up a little bit. So I'm happy I earned that one.
You threw up before that one or after?
After.
What about passing Jerry Rice? Is that something on your mind? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I've said it this offseason. I'm close. So, I got one more year to do it, but I think I can't do nothing about it now. So I just got to finish out this season strong and help our team get to the playoffs.
How many years do you think you can keep doing this? Because there's guys right now that are coming out of college that are like 26 years old, and it's like you're 4 years older than them, and you've got 10 seasons in the league.
Well, I got blessed and lucky that, I redshirted as a freshman in college, only played 2 years there. And then, I was a little raw, and then I came in with not much damage done to my body. So, that's been helpful for me. So I don't know. The way I feel better than I did when I was younger. So I don't know how long.
The win puts you back in the hunt for the NFC title. It's all in front of you next week. Are you thinking about that yet, or are you going to celebrate the win first?
I mean, we're going to celebrate the win because obviously we know how hard it is to win in this league. But, the NFC South is our goal to win. We want to host a playoff spot. So we got to keep working towards that.
Mike, you talked openly about wanting to be a Hall of Famer. Do you feel like with this accomplishment that you are a Hall of Famer? Just a matter of time?
That's not for me to decide. I know that I'm a Hall of Fame caliber player. Like I've seen all the guys that played. I've seen all the guys that are in the Hall of Fame. I know what I can do, but my career's not over yet. So that's something to think about in the future.
The longevity, like what it takes to get your body ready every single week. Just can you put into words like what that has been like? Because a lot of the guys that you came into the league with that were extremely talented, they haven't been able to stay on the field.
Some guys have. Devontae Adams has played a long time, the same as me. True number one receiver. Tyreek Hill, year 8. I mean, we can do it. Keenan Allen, year 11. Guys can do it. Just we take care of our body and just we need some help for the Lord.
About your future with this team next year, do you think that you're having this year will have a big impact on that?
Would you say that?
There's been a lot of discussion just about your future next year with your contract being up, but the year that you're having, the impact that this would have, do you think, on that future?
I don't know. When that moment comes, it'll come. But right now, I'm focused on trying to get this team to the playoffs.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. What do you think about his comments in general? I mean, he takes care of himself, takes care of his body. You mentioned wide receivers out there who do that. And he's not focused on the contract situation, which I get it. There's a lot of people that are focused on it. I think maybe in the back of his mind, he is just a little bit. I think he is a little bit. And I think he's been somewhat distracted by it throughout the year to a certain degree. I do. I think it has happened. But Mike is still playing at a high level. How can you not say he's not playing at a high level still? He's still one of the top wide receivers in this league. Stats don't lie, man. He's getting it done. So, yeah. And he's focused on getting this team to the playoffs. Playoffs! Yes, playoffs. We're sitting here at 11:30 at night on a Sunday night here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Carolina Panthers 21-18 to go to 5-7. They play the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta next week. So we'll see how that works out. Let's see. 49ers are the team to beat right now. They beat down and put Philly down in Philly. Wow, that was a game where it looked like Philly was really dominating from what I saw. And then there was a fight on the sidelines there. Coach getting thrown out. A.J. Brown getting thrown to the ground there. I mean, you got to know that San Francisco wanted to go in there after the way they played last year in Philly in the NFC Championship game. They had something to prove, and they proved it. So we'll see. And Philly, with everything that they've done and accomplished with their record, they've had their fair share of struggles when it comes to offensive football. So maybe San Francisco is the best team. We'll see. Again, I think it goes back to what the great TJ Reeves has said. This is a week-by-week league. You don't know. 1 week you think Philly is the top team. 1 week you think the Dallas Cowboys are the top team. 1 week you think the San Francisco 49ers are the top team. So we'll see. Still a lot of football in front of us here to play. Let me go out to Christopher Cole. Chiefs have the ball down by 8. Dave says, Mike is Jason Light's greatest pick, period. Dude is a superstar and a great person. He is. Not only what he does on the football field, but off the football field with all the charities and work and everything like that. God bless him, man. He's amazing. And he's been the most consistent player in Tampa Bay Buccaneer history in this era. It's been amazing to watch him. And I don't want to stop watching him. I believe, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right about this, that Jason Light, Mike Greenberg, and everybody over there associated with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will get that deal done. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. All right, let's go on to Mike. I'm just curious, when a player gives a fan a ball, do the players have to pay for the ball? Do the players have to pay for the ball? I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, it depends on, if it's a big moment. Like, in that case, because you saw this with Brady with all the records that he was breaking, how Evans was catching the touchdown and giving it to a fan. In that case, yes, you're going to have to pay the fan if you want the ball back. But I certainly think somebody alerted him, not to give the ball away on that and give it right to the ref, put it in, somewhere, put it in the box and keep it for a memento, for a memory, because it's a big deal. It's a big deal for him to, have the record that he has. We were talking about in the offseason, could he do it? No matter if it was Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield. And I said, yeah, I think he can definitely do it. You know why? Because Mike has shown in the past that he's able to do it with any quarterback. He's been able to do it. He's gotten it done. I think that's the reason why he's a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Because he doesn't need a top quarterback in order to still be productive. He has been productive from his rookie year on. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So good question, Mike. Appreciate you. Keenan Allen or Mike Evans? It's Mike Evans. Allen said he was better than Evans. Where's his ring? How many quarterbacks has he played with? And how many 1,000-yard receiving seasons has he had? Great point. Exactly. Keenan Allen, good wide receiver. He ain't no Mike Evans. Mike Evans has a Super Bowl ring with Tom Brady. He has the consistency, and he hasn't played necessarily with the greatest quarterback. Can you imagine if the Bucs had a quarterback, which I know there's lots of Bucs fans out there that want to see them draft somebody like a Justin Herbert, right? Whether it's Daniels, whether it's Caleb Williams, I don't think he's going to be there. Drake May, they want that franchise quarterback to work out. They want to have that young quarterback to build around. Can you imagine if you had that? You thought you had that with Jameis Winston. He put up some yards, but he also gave you some interceptions, right? I mean, Mike is just so consistent. Can you imagine if he had that type of quarterback? You would think that you would have, the even more success, right? Keenan Allen has the quarterback and doesn't have that success. He doesn't. All right. Tell you what, let's go out to, let's see here. Who do we got? We got Todd Bowles. Let's hear from Todd Bowles after the Bucs pick up their 5th win versus the Carolina Panthers, 21-18 here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Here we go.
Especially the play he made there to give you guys.
Ooh, I don't know what more you can say. He's been like this for 10 years now, over 60 catches 10 years in a row, over 1,000 yards 10 years in a row. And he's getting the ball and everybody's trying to stop him, and he makes plays over and over. It's a credit to him, his work ethic, the way he approaches the game. Unbelievable.
What about the way he's evolved his game, right? Like when he in his early years in the league, he was that kind of long strider. Now you're seeing a lot of yak from him. He's finding ways to make impact plays just in different ways, involve himself to play in yet another new offense. What can you say about all that?
I think he's always had it. They always made him a deep ball threat, so he was kind of limited in the things he did. But now he's opening up a whole new part of his game, and I think that's what he loves about playing right now at this stage of his career. He's running routes he hadn't run early in his career, and he's making the best of them. He's getting yak yards, and he's a complete receiver.
You talk about the play of J.J. Russell today and how impactful he was. And just your inside linebacker situation, having to play look like Ryan Deal at linebacker for you today.
JJ did a heck of a job. He even got a sack just coming up, and he gets very little reps. And to come in and play like he played today, and Ryan came in early for KJ. Ryan played linebacker off one day of practice, so that was huge for him. And he did some of those things in Seattle, and we saw it. He had a walkthrough, and he had a couple reps, and he went in there, and he played a hell of a game, and he got a game ball as well as Mike.
Were you worried, Don, about Bryce Young as a scrambler at all today? And he was no factor running the ball.
Going into the game, I was, because he's very elusive in the pocket, and we missed some of them in there because he's very quick and he's very elusive in there. But hope and gladly it didn't hurt us.
Coach, today on defense, you played almost extensively dime. Was that the game plan due to injury, or was that to try to keep the quarterback?
Oh, it was due to injury. I didn't have any more linebackers. He was the next man up. It would have been a corner right after that playing linebacker. So we tried to cover him up some and give him some things that he knew that he was familiar with and knew how to play, and we went with it.
Any idea of the status of KJ's back?
Not at this time.
The fourth down play there to see Antoine kind of cover some ground and make a play to steal the win. Just talk about his play and his ability to come up with big turnovers.
He's been great. He got a sack as well earlier. He can see the ball very well from back there. I think leaving him back there this year instead of putting him at nickel has been great. Just putting him down there some where he can make plays, but he's starting to catch them. If he catches all the ones he throws to him, he'll be great. And he caught one today, and he makes play after play, week after week.
Was the conditions tough in the first half to throw the football? It looked like there was the one interception for Baker.
It did. We hadn't played in the rain probably this year, not like that anyway. And it just came up. It wasn't supposed to do that, but it came out. It was tough sled in the first half for both teams, but it kind of eased up in the second half and allowed us to make some plays.
Mike's been so remarkably durable throughout his career. And with the way the league has gone versus, with guys like Tim Brown and then Randy Moss played in, there's potential for him to play even longer because of the way the practices are and things like that. How much longer do you think you do this for?
I think Mike can play as long as he wants to. His drive and desire is there. I don't have a timetable on it right now. Maybe he can answer that question. I don't, but I would like him to play as long as he wants to.
You got a little bit of help today with the Saints losing. The Falcons did win. Can you just speak to the importance of next week's game? The Falcons are undefeated in the division. They kind of stole one from me down here. Just the importance of going up there and getting that win next week.
Well, it's huge. We know it's a round robin tournament. We all play each other. It's going to come down to the end. It's very important to win division games. It's another division game coming up. We had a tough one in our place, so we got to go down there and try and return the favor.
At times you played kind of some soft defense at end of games. Today you stayed uber aggressive. Is that because of the injuries or something that you wanted to change?
He mixed it up some. And, he's very accurate if you give him time in the pocket. And we knew he was kind of short, so he couldn't see over top. So if we can get him looking at the pressure, hopefully he made some errant throws. He didn't make too many, but we were able to get to him a couple of times, and he had some overthrows. So that guy did a good job with the game plan.
What do you think about Young's future in the league, Todd, based on the first time you saw him?
I think he's going to be a star. I saw him as a star when I was looking at film all week because, like I said, he had 40-something sacks, but he escaped 60-something. And he's very accurate given time. It's just first-year quarterback. Some do well with the people around him. Some you have to get some help, and some you just have to have growing pains. I'm glad I got him early. I don't want to see him too many times.
How concerned are you for your inside linebacker position? Because like you said, if something happened to Neal, you'd be down to having a corner there.
Well, I'm not concerned today. Probably tomorrow I'll be more concerned about it, but I'm going to let it go for a couple hours and deal with it tomorrow.
Levante or Devin or Sebastian are in play for next week?
Sebastian should be. His was a freak thing. He was sick, and, he was just down and out. I'll see about Levante and Devin.
Good. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, there you go. That was Todd Bowles there after the game, after the Bucs pick up their 5th win of the season, 21-18 over the Carolina Panthers. Open phone line, 727-255-00. 0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go back out to the comments. Yes, they do have to pay for handing the fans a ball. I don't know about the ball, but the NFL fines them $1,000 if they throw it in the stands. It's $5,000 fine. I didn't know that. I had no idea that. Wow. Okay. Evans is the second best Buck of all time. Nobody beats the A Train. Okay, Mike, I like that. Of course, having the all-star jersey in the back, but I think Mike Evans, what he's done for this team and throughout history of the game, the wide receiving position has been tremendous. And I love Mike Allstott, and some of the games that he played in are put up some good numbers, really good numbers. Mike Evans, Hall of Famer. So I live in North Carolina. Cam was fine every time he gave the ball away to a fan, but the Panthers paid it for him. I'm sure the Bucs do the same for Mike. Christopher Cole, those refs and Sunday Night Football were just awful, especially on the Chiefs' last drive. What happened? Did the Chiefs win that game? That's what I'm looking for right now as I'm trying to get an update on it. No, the Packers beat the Chiefs 27-19. So congratulations to the Packers. There you go. Big win for them. Tell you what, I want to go back out to the comments here. I want to go back out actually to the presser with Baker Mayfield. Let's see if we can find it here. Hold on a sec. I don't think that's it. Is that it right there? No, it's not. Where is it at? All right, let's go. Let me go out to Baker Mayfield here really quick. As here we go. Oh, let it load up. There we go. There's Baker.
Baker, take us through. You're down, you're trailing in the game, and then the play happens to Mike Evans, and you watch him fly in from about 4 or 5 yards out. What's that like from your perspective?
I mean, he's a special player, obviously. I mean, hats off to him. He's done it so consistently for so long, and that play is just an example of how special he is. Just the run after the catch, the ability to be exactly where he's supposed to be on that route, and then make obviously a huge play after that. And so, extremely happy for him. We needed that. We needed a little spark, and he was the guy to bring it to us, and nobody better than him.
You guys had a hug in the hallway afterwards. What did you say to him?
Just congrats. I really don't have the words to describe what he just did in his career to accomplish that for 11 seasons in a row. And I'm pretty damn happy I wasn't the guy to break that streak, to be honest with you. But more happy for Mike. And it's amazing. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and nobody can take that away from him.
Was Evans the first option on that, or were you working through your progressions on the touchdown?
Before the snap, no. But the way they rolled the safety into the middle of the field, he ran the route exactly how we talked about. He had outside leverage on a nickel, stuck his foot in the ground and broke in, and just knowing the timing of the coverage, and he made the rest happen. So he did exactly what he was supposed to do, and then on top of that, he did the rest.
Baker, how hard was it the first half to try to throw the ball? I know the interception ball came out of your hand.
Yeah, I'm pissed about that one. They got to deal with it too. It's just the circumstances. There's no excuse, but got to find a way to get a better pass to where it's not floating up in the air like a 12-6 curveball. But just unfortunate. But we hung in there, weathered the storm, and literally, and then came out in the second half and made it work.
Baker, you're a guy that loves football. What's it like to be a part of the history of Mike Evans and getting him 1,000 yards?
Yeah.
He needed to get 10 years in a row.
It's truly special. It's one of those things you'll look back on and be able to cherish that moment that you were a part of it, and that includes everybody. Offensive staff, O-linemen. Obviously, this goes back for 11 years. So that's pretty special to think about all the people that are a part of it, and for us to seal it with a few games left. That's really special for us, and I'm so happy for him.
As the game was playing out, how aware were you guys that he was getting closer and closer to 1,000?
We knew before that last drive when he was about 4 or 6 yards away. Everybody kept saying different numbers. So on that first pass play, they probably would have had to double cover him for me not to throw it to him, but made a great play.
Baker, you guys are right in it. You've been in it up to this point. New Orleans lost. Atlanta, you could take them on Sunday. So what does it mean, this stretch right here? It's like a round-robin tournament in a way, I guess.
Yeah, I know I mentioned it to you guys earlier in the week about this is playoff mentality for us, and Coach Bowles said it last night. We have an 8-day window, including today, that we can be in first place in this division. So take care of business next week and see what happens the rest of the way. But it's a one game at a time mentality, and our guys came ready to play, and we, found a way to win. Doesn't have to be pretty. A lot of things to correct, but we found a way to win.
When you're in your first year with a new team and a new system, you've got a guy like Mike Evans who, in really meaningful games and really important moments, he seems to show up and be the guy and says, I'm going to be the one to make this happen. Just what's it mean for you as a quarterback to be able to have such a reliable force on the opposite end of the field?
It's amazing to be able to have a safety blanket like Mike. Obviously, Chris does a lot of special things as well, but Mike turns that switch. He flips it on and turns it on when he needs to, and gave us the spark. Had a great game, so we're lucky to have him.
Baker, you've ingratiated yourself not just to the offense but to the defense as well. You're a team captain. When you see your linebackers go down, and basically J.J. Russell is the last man standing out there. Yeah. When you're on the sidelines watching him play out there, what's going through your mind? With the fact he's got to be a little bit of a one-man game.
Yeah, between J.J. and then Ryan Neal stepping up in a huge way. That's the mental preparation that those guys are two true pros. You don't get a whole lot of reps with the guys that they have in front of them. But and obviously Ryan's not even a linebacker. He came in and just learned it on the fly and played great. So that hats off to those guys for being mentally prepared, knowing what to do, and coming in and stopping a good rushing attack.
Okay,
thanks, guys.
All right, there was Baker Mayfield right there. As we'll come back here, get out of that. There we go. All right, so what do you think of Baker Mayfield's comments? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. As I think we're just going to wind this down here. We'll read the rest of these comments and we'll get out of here. I'm kind of tired. It's been a long day, but it's been a good day. Even though it is an ugly win, a win is a win for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they pick up their 5th win of the season. Once again, they play the Atlanta Falcons next Sunday. All right, let's go out to Christopher Cole. These refs and Sunday Night Football were just awful, especially on the Chiefs' last drive. Okay. Okay, I read that one. Let's go back out to Dave here. Packers are quarterback rich. Once again, Love looks like he's shaping up to be a solid quarterback. It's really his rookie year, but he's got the advantage of sitting for 2 years behind Rodgers. So there you go. There you go. It's worked out for him. And, of course, the Bucs are going to have to face him in a couple weeks up there in Lambeau. But he's definitely played better. He's definitely played well. Let's see. Refs completely missed defensive pass interference at the 5-yard line again on a Hail Mary. Shocking. Love is going to have growing pains, but he really looks like he's sitting for 2 years. Learning is paying off. I mean, they know how to do it, right? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a great case of that. Great case study. There's a lot of teams that are, they're willing to throw the quarterback in there right away once they draft him. You throw him right in there. Doesn't always work out. There's some growing pains. There's also an opportunity for that quarterback to basically get ruined because of being sacked too much. Tell you what, let's go out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where you're calling from? You're on the Sports Web.
Hey, Peter, Jeremy. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Jeremy? How you doing?
Good, man. Glad to see we finally got a win, got the losing streak, and hopefully they can take it into Atlanta next Sunday.
Yeah, I agree, man. I definitely agree. I mean, they cannot play like this. They still, not coming out, not having the urgency, whether it was there. You think about it, I'm watching the game. It's a rainstorm, right? It doesn't, have thunder or lightning, but it's not necessarily the best conditions to throw. So was that what it was? Was that the reason why they were struggling? I don't know. This team has struggled all year long. So maybe you take the rain away. You hear from Mike Evans. Mike says, good thing it let down. Good thing there was no more rain because we were able to do some of the things we wanted to do in this game. They had an opportunity to do that. And he said it best. They were playing me this way, and I felt like I could definitely get some yards in this game and some big plays, and they were able to do that once the rain let down. So was it the rain? Was it the weather? I don't know. It's always one thing with this team. I know it was nice to see a first quarter touchdown, a good throw by Baker Mayfield, but not necessarily the best game. Once again, was that the rain? Was that him not being accurate? We'll see against the Atlanta Falcons, because they got to win that game. You got to have a better effort, and hopefully you can get healthy going forward.
No, I agree. I mean, it was tough. I mean, there was just some good plays and bad plays. I mean, the rain, I think, definitely was a huge cause of it, honestly. It's the first really raining game they had all season. But at the same time, it doesn't really excuse how the way they play. They definitely got to play a lot better. I feel like the offense could have done a whole lot better on off. Really, that's what really going to help us win the game.
Yeah.
Defense, down to our safety playing linebacker for crying out loud. It didn't surprise me the Panthers staying in the game the whole time. But at the end of the day, a win's a win. I'll take it. Whether it's the worst team or the best team, you got to take these wins as they come. Build motivation, going to next Sunday, and try to take one from Atlanta. They came down here and pretty much dominated us. If we don't excuse the turnovers they caused. That's why they need to go in there and play, better offense.
Yeah, they could have definitely won that game by a lot more than what they did. I think they won 16-13, and the Bucs had every opportunity. Antoine Winfield Jr. once again showing up in this game, showing up all year long, gave them that opportunity versus a Desmond Ridder, and they weren't able to take advantage of it. So you're exactly right. And Atlanta wants to win that game. They want to sweep the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They want to put themselves in the best position to win the NFC South. And how do you do that? You beat the Bucs at home.
No, I agreed. No, I agree 100%. I mean, they came down here and they did what they wanted to do against us, and we just flat out gave them the game. But, however, there's always round two. It's going to their house and take it from them, which we're pretty good at.
Exactly right. Yes.
But I will say this though, just throw it out there. Mike Evans, he's a heart and soul man. I really hope they come to a conclusion on paying him during the off season. I know it's early to talk about the off season, but Mike Evans, man, just pay the man what he wants. I don't care whatever it takes. If it means trading Godwin, letting Devin walk, which is fine by me.
Right.
You cannot let a player like that walk out of the building. I mean, this man, loves here in Tampa. The fans love him. At the end of the day, this man just wants to win. He can win with and he can play with any quarterback you put in front of him.
Any quarterback, and he's shown that throughout his career. And again, I think that's the reason why he's a Hall of Famer in my book. Jeremy, anything else here on the sports web?
At the end of the day, man, don't give up hope. I mean, at the end of, it's all about one Sunday at a time. And this team, I feel like if Bowles can make better decisions, as far as using his timeouts, which I know he tried to use in earlier.
He used one timeout before halftime, was amazing. And I think JP was there and he was clapping about it. And then also, and he was, and challenging that play from Mike Evans. That's a big play because they're not going to review it. So, good call. And even Mike Evans in the presser said, I'm glad because I needed that touchdown. Absolutely.
No, well deserved. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like Bowles can make better decisions and help us win football games.
Yeah.
And that's where, it's a hate and love relationship with Bowles. You hate him and you love him. At the end of the day, I feel like, he's a very good defensive coach when he wants to participate, and get this team in line. And the players want to play for him. That's the difference, Players didn't want to play for like a Raheem Morris. They gave on him. They gave on Graciano. But Todd Bowles, you can tell the difference. That the players love Todd Bowles and they want to win for him the best way he can. It's just Bowles just got to get, this coaching staff in line and get them ready for that Sunday.
Yep, you're right. You're exactly right. He has to have this team ready. Once again, they have to have the urgency. Hopefully, once again, you can get back some of these players that are hurt, especially at the linebacking position. Jeremy, great call as always. Thanks a lot for your time here on The Evolution, my friend. All right?
No problem, Peter. Take care, man. Go Bucs.
Yeah, go Bucs. Absolutely. Go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Go Bucs. Go Bucs. All right. Jim, you want to call back in? Go ahead and call in. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Again, we'll read the rest of these comments, and then we'll try to get out of here for the night. But, Jim, if you want to call in now, or anybody else talking about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers picking up their 5th win of the season. Of course, ugly fashion against the Carolina Panthers, 21-18, but a win is a win is a win. All right. Hearing Bulls talk is so blah, no emotion after the win. Dave says, love you, Peter. Good stuff as always. Go Bucs. Absolutely go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
There you go. Mike says, great job on the shows, Peter. Let's go Bucs. Absolutely.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go. Give me a little Tom Brady. Let's go. All right, so let's go on to Dominic. Hello, hope you're doing well, but we were talking about the Rolex when I met you at the big structure fire on 19 and Holiday. Dominic, thanks a lot for tuning in. I definitely remember you. Mike says Saints play Panthers next Sunday. The way the Saints played today early on, they got down, 21-0, came storming back. The Lions defense, we'll see. I think that's still the biggest question mark for the Detroit Lions, but they continue to win in spite of it. Can they have a good enough defense to go forward in the postseason? We shall see. All right, let's go out to damn it, Jim. Jim, using your second call. Welcome to the Evolution. What's on your mind, boss?
I just want to give you your flowers, man. You a bad man. I want you to get your rest tonight, brother.
Hey, man, you know me. I'm here for you to talk about the Bucs and Vince and also celebrate because it's been, an up and down year. And I felt like, after we gave you the cell phone show, we also wanted to give you a call-in show and call in and talk about your Bucs. What did you see? And, just kind of have a good time. That's what we do here on the Evolution.
Yeah, I'm about that action.
All right.
So I wanted to tell you, man, I missed the interview because I'm talking to a friend on the phone. I'm at work, so I'm trying to focus on everything. And but I didn't get to catch his interview. But I hope he said we're gonna go to Atlanta and get this next game. That's what he need to be saying.
Well, Todd Bowles this week said they're one game out, so I think he's focused on it. And you heard from Mike Evans in the interview. He doesn't care about individual accomplishments. They're focused on getting this team to the playoffs. That's exactly what this team is focused on. And say whatever you want to. I definitely think this locker room. Yes, I don't think this locker room, has quit on Todd Bowles. A lot of people think they quit on him. They haven't. They just haven't played up to their level of accomplishments in the past. Is that fair?
Yes, I think that's fair. But I think Mike Evans is still playing his hard to get this money. And we'll see. Godwin's not getting the ball like he should. I think you need to be trying to sling it to Godwin too.
You got to find him. I definitely feel like you got to find him. And, look, they're most likely going to try to double Mike Evans and take him away. AJ Terrell, I believe, is going to play on him, try to play on him 1-to-1. But if they bracket coverage towards Evans, you got to figure out a way to not only get Chris Godwin the ball, Trey Palmer the ball, and also involve your tight end somewhat in this game plan. So you're exactly right. You would like to see, throwing Godwin's way a little bit more, but he did get the touchdown on the run. Of course, again, you want to see, some passing. You kind of wonder, is it the neck injury? He played in this game. Yeah, I don't know why he's not getting more passes. Either Baker's missing them, he's not in the game plan, but you got to figure it out because this offense is that much better when Godwin is involved. Jim, thanks a lot for the call. Anything else, my friend?
Did you, how many yards did the running back get today?
White's had 20 carries for 84 yards, including the big run to close it out with one touchdown, averaging 4.2 yards. So,
touchdown?
Yeah, he had a
Okay,
touchdown.
baby.
Yeah, there you go. It's coming around. Yeah, 20 carries, 29 throws. Yeah, somewhat balanced, kind of working out in the Bucs' favor. So we'll see if they can turn this around, and who knows? Maybe they can start stacking some W's. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
We back in the game.
Yeah,
right.
my friend. Love it. Good stuff, Jim. Thanks a lot for your second call of the night. As always, you can always call the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Let's see. When are you doing the next show? Maybe tomorrow. I think maybe tomorrow night. We'll see. Are you taking my second call? I did. I responded to that. Dominic says, what is the Rolex from, though? That's what I'm asking. Well, the Rolex is from asking a question to Jake Paul a couple of years ago, asking him about, him giving opponents Rolexes because he gave, of course, Tyron Woodley a Rolex and said, it's time to knock you out. So I asked him the question. He says, I don't know. We'll do some crazy stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and play that in case you guys did not see that. I think you've seen it 1,000 times. I'm so absolutely, I love this highlight here. So let's go ahead and go out to that. And here we go. Signature going to be give the next fighter Rolexes because you kind of called your shot. You said it's time to knock you out, Woodley. Are you going to continue to do that with some of these fighters you're going to fight?
I mean, I feel like I have to give them gifts for the trauma I put them through. But yeah, maybe I got more tricks up my sleeves, and I guess I don't know. Do you want a Rolex? I can get you one.
Sure, I'll take it if you
I'm
want.
gonna get him a Rolex. Will you get his email? All right. What's your name?
Peter Blake.
Peter Blake. You're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
look really good with a Rolex on.
Sounds good. I need
All
to.
right,
I need to
well,
upgrade.
I'll have Nikisa hit you, and I'm gonna get you the same one I got Tyron.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. So there you go. That's the story. That's Jake Paul. And by the way, I think we're going to be able to cover that fight December 15th in Orlando with Jake Paul. I'm trying to think of the fighter that he's taking on. And who knows? Continue to watch. Maybe I will get him on to talk about that moment, talk about his upcoming fight, to promote a little bit. I don't know. So there you go, Dominic. I answered your question. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Dave, Winston is still the best Bucs player. Stop it, Dave. Stop stirring the pot. That's awesome, bro. Dang. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. So there you go. That's why they call me the Rolex Reporter. As we always say here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube as YouTube Super Chats are open. Like I Love St. Pete, like Bucs Life, like all the platforms out there. Facebook Stars are open. Give to the content. And 3 things. You know them. You love them. You got to have them on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex Reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, it's your time. Bucs go to 5-7. They defeat the Carolina Panthers 21-18. We'll see you soon on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Thanks a lot for tuning in tonight, and continue to tune in to the Sports Web because we got you covered when it comes to Tampa Bay sports. Have a good night, and Victory Monday is approaching.
Thank you.